Hi, this is Richard Q. Zierman of Organic Radio. Okay, here we are on the microphone. It's an overcast day, June 24th, 2012. Big Brother, non-member activist? No. But I would like to open up a few doors to some heads and minds wherever you may be listening. I never make a political comment, and today I decided to voice out my opinion, which doesn't necessarily mean the points and views of my audience. I figure I've been on this planet for 6 generations, so I deserve my salt and a short speech to sum up my brand of consciousness. No one is exempt from systematic brainwashing. We are led to believe that we are part of a social mechanism whose constructs create civility and manipulation through hierarchy. The difference between dictatorial power and democratic power is who is controlling the strings. Thus, the United States cannot function as an internal power without financial assistance in the form of taxes and big business supporting its internal workings. Politicians, the pawns of this construct, deliver processing and change to the system, but never outside the player's field of Congress, unless rogue presidential powers take place or social disorders manifest from social conceptual behaviors. I know this really sounds heady. We are only as free as we like ourselves to think we are. With the deliverance of 9/11, we are a country that spies on one another and are force-fed the idea, which I still call propaganda, that the safety of country comes before the inalienable rights of freedom. If Thomas Jefferson were alive today, he would certainly see the vestibule of power as corrupt. It takes free literature, art, and social change to deliver the mind of the masses, to re-stimulate a sense of freedom that is not manipulated by a big brother. I have spent a lifetime observing change in social and political tooling, as well as the power of observation as a free-thinking mind. If you think you are really free, please think again. Almost all Americans have a sense that government is the most frightening force. It corrals and distributes order. Though Congress sets the stages for our lawmaking and statutes, the infringes on people and protections, while necessary as order, still force a population considered free to be challenged by the consistency of the bureaucracy. We have taxed our population to an extreme, and the commonality of acceptance still continues its course because we are led. How many of us are conscious of the fact that we are being watched? And the industry that helps thrive on spying economics is the right arm of distribution? The worst thing an American can do is stir the pot. Not everyone lives in a vacuum, and most of us have a great tendency to ask questions. Where is the country that led the world scientifically, as well as in manufacturing, as well as being the frontline genius of architecture and design, as well as medicine? We jostle every day politically for resolution, but simply can't get there because people seem to just disagree. Why does the government patent cannabis? Why are there so many secrets lurking to be found? Why is it necessary to find revenue wherever you can, at whatever cost to Americans? Who is playing ball with us anyway? Why can't politicians just keep their sexual rendezvous hidden from the scrutiny of the public? Are we so concerned with infidelity more than what a human being is capable of producing? Does the zipper decide what benefit is derived from political genius? Between religion and politics, the bosses will always have an influence on change, manifesting themselves by the tolerance of its citizens. Why we remain idle and not voice out enough is compacted by our inability to move toward these changes that really creates freedoms. As Americans, it is our turn to become a big brother on government. See who's watching you. Don't allow the scrutiny of others to undermine your ability to think freely and act conducive to what freedom represents. Sure, we're not animals. We don't need to be herded. Some of us really may be crazy, while others just follow what they are told. Do we need a Stedford approach to control? When you think of the safety of your home and you look into the clouds, we must always wonder who is watching us. Think again if you don't think that product research has not invaded your cell phone or personal computer applications. Any amassed tool that is used to hurt people will be misaligned and misused. This is significant power to repackage and resell itself into a power or financial grabber. If this is what comprises a capital system, then we are surely headed for defeat, simply because history reminds us that absolute power simply corrupts. While this may sound cliche, it really isn't taken too seriously by the masses. The numbering of people. We are simply a commodity to government. We are good for taxes, and we are good for war. Speak out, and you will be accosted. This is the way of the world here in the United States. I am not saying something completely out of the ordinary. Some would even say, hey, if you don't like it here, move somewhere else. While it has a patriot ring, it also spells out disaster in a society that, for the most part, simply does not think. How could I say that? Look at the marketing statistics of goods and services, of political choicing, anything. Just look at the statistics, and you will see the hard sell approach of corporations looking to filibuster your thinking. Do we need to be sold? That's a good question. While many of us have a difficult time making a decision, we believe research will help us decide on our choices, and this is good. If you didn't question your choice, you would be in severe trouble. The tendency to make a choice is relative to what others perceive the product to be. In effect, we base all our decisive reasoning on what others experience. This could be labeled as an informed decision or simply the inadequacies to make a pure decision. Hey, I want to save myself the trouble. So we elect officials to office if the masses move in that direction. So essentially, start a fire and see how far widely it burns, then join the rest to become conclusive. We have eyes in our head for two things. One would be for visualization and decision making, and the other for propagating goods, far outranking our ability to really use them. In other words, you got it. Greed. Politically, to suit a hierarchy agenda, we have killed our own men and women for justified gain. The psychopathic thinking of government does not remorse over numbers. Therefore, we are a calculated risk factor when comprising a scale of benefits and solutions. Do we have the best system in the global hemisphere? Hey, yes, we do. The problem, as always, is the abuse of power. None of us are exempt from the watchful eye of those that monitor us. We cannot be truly free in a society that watches us, and industry is in the hands of these watchful families that support the ideals and conclusions of these powers. When we don't work together as a free society, we lose our internal strength as a nation. We have hired nannies, not political restorers of freedom and democracy. It will only get worse. The greed factor alone and the abuse of farming economic energies to other countries has shown us what patriotism really is. It's having a home base in this country you love so much, but not serve. The draft dodger shouldn't be accountable when they see the designing nature of our biggest enterprises simply leave us. We will hold a single man accountable, but we will not move to sever our ties to the political arena of hard cash. This is Richard Q. Zimmerman for Organic Radio.